Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. I'm so pumped you're here. Today, we're going on a road trip, but not in a car, we're going on a tech road trip. Have you ever stopped to wonder how our devices, phones, tablets, computers, how they actually talk to each other? Like, how does a message get from my phone all the way to yours? Well, buckle up, because today we're exploring the super cool paths that make all of this possible. We're going to uncover the secrets of how data travels across the room and even across the entire world. So, really think about this for a second. When you tap your screen to watch your favorite video or play a fun game online, how does that video actually get to your device? I mean, it doesn't just magically appear out of nowhere, right? It has to travel. Just like a letter has to travel through the mail to get to your front door, digital information has to travel through special paths to get to your screen. But what are those paths actually made of? So, the crucial point is this one simple term, transmission media. Now, I know that might sound like a big, complicated, sciencey word, but it's actually super easy to understand. See, transmission just means sending something from one place to another. And media, that's just the material or the path that carries it. So, transmission media simply means the path for data. It's literally the road that our digital information drives on. Now, in the tech world, this road basically comes in two main styles. Let's look at this big split. On one side, we've got wired paths. These use physical cables, things you can actually touch and hold in your hand, like the cords you plug into a wall. And on the other side, we have wireless paths. This uses signals that travel right through the air. You can't touch them, you can't even see them, but they're literally all around us. Physical cables and invisible signals. Let's explore both, starting with the wires. Section 1. Wired paths. Physical cables. All right, first up on our tech road trip, let's look at the paths you can actually see. Let's do a quick roll call of our three main cable heroes. When data needs a physical road to travel on, it usually takes one of these three. Number 1 is the twisted pair cable. Number 2 is the coaxial cable. And number 3 is the absolutely amazing fiber optic cable. Each one is built just a little differently to do a specific job. So let's zoom in and see how they actually work. First up is the twisted pair cable. Just like the name says, this cable is made of copper wires that are literally twisted together, almost like they're giving each other a hug. It is super common. Actually, if you use computers at your school or maybe at the local library, they're probably using twisted pair cables to connect to the internet. We call this an Ethernet connection. It's basically the reliable, everyday path for our data. Next up, we have the coaxial cable. Man, look at how thick that is. This cable is very thick and wears a really heavy layer of protection. Because it's so well protected, it's awesome at carrying a lot of information safely. This is the cable that's mostly used for TV systems. When you turn on your television in the living room to watch a show, it's usually a thick, protected coaxial cable that's bringing that show right into your house. Oh, and it's used for some internet connections too. Now, what's really interesting is our third cable, fiber optic. This one feels like pure science fiction. Because instead of using copper wires, fiber optic cables use actual light to send data. No way, right? Just imagine flashing a super fast flashlight down a really long glass tube. Because it uses light, it is incredibly fast and can travel over huge distances without losing any power. This is the superpower cable we use for modern high-speed internet. Section 2. Let's move to wireless paths, invisible signals, and see how this builds. Okay. So we just talked about cables we can actually touch, but what about when we want to walk around with our devices? Imagine you're playing a game on a tablet while sitting on the couch. There are obviously no wires connecting your tablet to the wall. So how on earth do the data signals travel with zero cables? Like, how do they cross the empty space of your living room? Well, here's the simple, powerful answer. Wireless means exactly what it sounds like. No cable. Instead of driving down a physical copper wire or a glass tube, the data travels as invisible signals right through the air. You don't have to plug anything in, and there are absolutely no wires to trip over. And this brilliantly illustrates how we organize these invisible signals. Just like we have different types of vehicles for short trips and long trips, we have different wireless signals based on how far they actually need to go. On the short distance side, we have things like Bluetooth and infrared. These only really travel across a single room. But then on the long-distance side, we have signals like cellular and satellite, which can cross entire cities or even the globe. Let's break these down a bit. First, let's talk about the ones you probably use every single day, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Wi-Fi is the most common invisible path for the internet. It's what connects your tablet or your computer to the internet at home or at school. Then we have Bluetooth. Now, Bluetooth is for very short distances. It connects devices that are sitting right next to each other, like hooking up your wireless headphones to your phone, or maybe a wireless keyboard to a computer. Here's another really cool short distance path: infrared. This one is fun because just like those fiber optic cables we talked about earlier, infrared actually uses light. But there's a special rule for infrared. It needs a direct, completely straight line to work. If there's an obstacle, like a wall or even just a person in the way, the signal is totally blocked. You actually use this every single time you point a remote control at your TV to change the channel. The remote flashes an invisible infrared light straight to the television. All right, now let's jump to the long-distance signals. When you leave your house and drive across town, your Wi-Fi stops working, right? Well, that is exactly when cellular steps in. Cellular signals cover very wide areas. They travel from those really tall phone towers you see outside. This is what allows us to use our mobile phones on the go, whether we're walking in the park or riding in a car miles and miles away from home. And finally, we reach the absolute ultimate champion of long distance: satellite. This is just mind-blowing. These signals travel the longest distance of all because they literally come from space. Data signals are beamed all the way up into space, they hit a satellite orbiting the Earth, and then they bounce back down to the other side of the world. It's basically a giant game of catch happening way up in the stars just to keep our world connected. Section 3. Connecting our big world. So we've looked at physical cables on the ground and invisible signals up in the air and even out in space. And you know what? They all work together as a massive team to create this giant web. We've traveled from twisted copper wires giving each other a hug all the way up to signals bouncing off satellites in outer space. It really shows just how clever human beings can be when we want to share information and stay connected with each other. It kind of makes you wonder, as technology keeps growing, what amazing, invisible paths are we going to invent next? Well, thank you so much for joining me on this explainer road trip today. Keep asking questions and keep learning.